When you feel steady and comfortable, gently close your eyes. Yastyakva rupamadhyam prabhavati jagato anekadhanugrahaya prakshina klesharashiravishamapishadharo anekavaktra subhogi sarvajjan prasutirabhujaga प्रीतये यस्य नित्यं देवो हि शः सोऽव्ययात् सितविमलतनुर्योगदो योगयुक्तः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Gently bow your head down. Bring yourself to the class. Prepare yourself for the session. When you're ready, gently lift your head up. Open your eyes. Extend. Namo Namaha. Hari Om. We shall begin with today's session. Yesterday, we discussed the Sutra. We will chant it one more time, see the Bhashya and the meaning also quickly and progress. Tasya saptadha pranta bhumihi prajya.
Tasya saptada pranta bhumihi prajna.
Tasya saptadha pranta bhumihi prajya.
Tasya saptada pranta bhumihi prajna.
तस्येति प्रत्युदितख्यातेः प्रत्यय अम्नायः सप्तधेति अशुद्धयवरण आवरणमल उपगमचित्तस्य प्रत्यय अनन्तर उत्पद्यते सति सप्तप्रकारेव प्रज्ञा विवेकिनो भवति तद्यथा परिज्ञातं हेयं नास्य पुनः परिज्ञेयम् अस्ति. द्वितीय क्षीण हेय हेतवो न पुनरेतेषां चेतव्यमस्ति. तृतीय साक्षात्कृतं निरोध समाधिना हानं. चतुर्थ भावितो विवेकख्यातिरूपो हानोपायः. इत्येषा चतुष्टयी कार्या विमुक्तिः प्रज्ञाः. चित्तविमुक्तस्तु त्रयी. पंचम चरिताधिकारा बुद्धिः. षष्टि गुणा गिरिशिखर कूटच्युता इव ग्रावणो निरवस्थानाः स्वकारणेन प्रलयाभिमुखाः सह तेनास्तं गच्छन्ति न चेषां विप्रलिनीनां पुनरस्य उत्पादः प्रयोजना भावद इति. सप्त एतस्याम् अवस्थायां गुणसम्बन्धित इतः स्वरूपमात्र ज्योतिर्मलः केवली पुरुष इति एतां सप्तविधां प्रान्तब्रूमि प्रज्ञाम् अनुपश्यन् पुरुषः कुशल योग कुशल इत्याख्यायते. प्रतिप्रस्वे अपि चित्तस्य मुक्तः कुशल इत्यस्य भवति गुणातीत त्वद् इति. So yesterday we discussed the Jnana Bhumi, Prajna Bhumi, and they were 7 in number. How many were they? 7 in number. And these 7 were divided into 4 and 3. 4 and 3. Yes. So these 4 and 3 also further we see in Karya Nishtata and Chitta Nishtata. So 4 Karya Nishtata. The 4 which are Karya Nishtata, we see that they are possible with the yogi's own efforts, which means the first 4 are a result of the personal effort of the yogi, and the next 3 are spontaneous. You can make the note. First, Jighansa, Jigyasa, Nivrutti, then Jighansa, Nivrutti. Jigyasa, Nivrutti doesn't want to know any further. Any interest and curiosity in the world ceases. Jighansa, Nivrutti. Jighansa, Kshetavya, Nasti. No thought of destruction, खंडन करने की इच्छा की समाप्ति. Don't want to revolt or argue anymore with anyone. प्रेप्सा की निवृत्ति, पाने की इच्छा, the exhaustion of the desire to want anything, even moksha. So there is no desire, just one continues. Chikirsha nivritti, to act or to do, the interest, the motivation to act or to do drops off. So we saw that the first four avasthas are related to the Jagat. And from the Jagat, now we come to the Chitta avasthas. Yes, which are those? Charita adhikara buddhi. So what does this bring? Shoka nivritti. There is absolute cessation of sorrows. Shoka nivritti. Then bhaya nivritti, absolute cessation of fears. And vikalpa nivritti. What is vikalpa nivritti? Cessation of thought. So we see the chitta vritti nirodha for the one on the path of Kriya Yoga ends here. This is how the thought actually exhausts, step by step. And then we say Viveka Khyati has been completely acted upon, or it has illuminated itself. So what does this say? Viveka. Yoga Darshan says if there is no Viveka Khyati, there cannot be moksha. They are very, very clear about it. So therefore, there is a lot of emphasis on Viveka Khyati. We saw that there is a mention of these even in different Upanishads, Annapurna Upanishad, Mahopanishad. We also saw that there is an entire text in Buddhism that describes this Jnana Bhumis. Now, from there, we will move on to the next sutra. Bhashyam. Now, to attain Viveka Khyati, so we discussed Nikrishta Koti Sadhaka. Nikrishta Koti Sadhak is the one who is Kshipta and Mudha. The state of mind, the Chitta Bhumi is, how is it? Kshipta or Mudha. So, for those, this Siddhi of Viveka Khyati is not possible without sadhana. I will repeat again. For the others, the other three Chitta Bhumi, the sadhana was easily adopted. But for these two, the Siddhi is not possible without sadhana. Siddhi of what? Viveka Khyati. So to even attain the level of Viveka Khyati, whereas in the Samadhi Pada we see fourfold prerequisites. And out of that, Viveka Khyati is one of them. That means the seeker already is established in Viveka Khyati. Now going forward, the text will talk about how to establish Viveka Khyati in the one whom it is not established. So Nikrishta Koti Sadhak, like us. For us, what is the primary goal? To develop a Viveka Khyati. And Siddhi of Viveka Khyati, all of that has been described previously. For those, a different sadhan, a different instrument is needed altogether. A heavier, a stronger instrument is needed. Similarly, if we want to reach the destination, there are some of us who will only go if the route and the bus is very nice looking. If it is very attractive, the route is very scenic, we have to reach the destination. But some of us will be more attracted if the route is very, very scenic. If the vehicle which we take to transport ourselves to the destination is offering more luxury. So similarly, what has happened here? For the Nikrishta Koti Sadhak, in order to develop Viveka Khyati, Slowly, slowly, a sadhana has been mentioned. Don't take siddhis as yogic powers here. Although the Ashtanga Yoga we see, for whom it is? For the ones who want yogic powers. Travel from one body to another, travel from one place to another. That's the primary motivation and it is fine. Sage Patanjali does not deny. Whatever is the reason you enter the path of yoga. Whatever you okay, come with desires first. Not a problem. Just be on the path of yoga. So we see here that the Patanjali Yoga Darshan has not described 8 limbs anywhere before this. There is no mention of 8 limbs anywhere in the first chapter, first pada, Samadhi pada, and second also till which sutra? 28. So let's chant this sutra. Bhashyam Siddha Bhavati Viveka Khyati Hanopayah Nacha Siddhir Antarena Sadhanamitetat Adarabhyate. The sutra. Yogang Anushthanad
Yogang
Anushthanad
Ashuddhi Kshaye
Ashuddhi Kshaye
Jnana Deeptir
Jnana Diptir
Aviveka Khyate
Aviveka Khyate
Yogang Anushthanad
Yoganushthanad
Ashuddhi Kshaye
Ashuddhi Kshaye
Jnana Deeptir
Jnana Diptir
Aviveka Khyate
Aviveka Khyate.
Let's observe the verse. Yoga Anga. Now, yoga will not be described again and again. Yoga Anga. Yoga Anga. So, there is no mention of yoga or yoga mispronunciation anywhere. Everywhere where yoga is mentioned forward, it will be yoga Anga. In front of yoga, there will be Anga always. Okay. So, yoga Anga, limbs, Anushtanad, from the practice of Ashuddhihi, impurity, Kshaye, destruction, Jnana, knowledge, Diptihi, light or lamp, Viveka, Khyate, knowledge of discrimination. Upon the destruction of impurities, as a result of the practice of Yoganga, the lamp of knowledge arises. This culminates in discriminative discernment or Viveka Khyati. So, long awaited Yogangas will now be introduced. But before introducing, a short introduction to why they are here is this sutra. So, the reason for Yogangas, let's see. Yogangani Ashtavibhajishyam Anani Tesham Anushtanat Panchaparvano Viparyayasya Shuddhi Rupasya Kshayaha Nashaha Tat Kshaye Samyak Janasya Vibhaktihi Yatha Yatha cha sadhanan Anushtayante Tatha Tatha Tanutvam Ashuddhir Utpadayante Yatha Yatha cha Kshiyate Tatha Tatha Kshaya Kramanarudodhi Janasyapi Diptir Vivardhate. So the first few lines say that the moment the Nikrishta Koti Sadhaka, we are not even saying Yoga Ruda and Yoga Ruksha. What is the term now? Nikrishta Koti Sadhaka. Even below Yoga Ruksha. How? What is the differentiation? Because until the path of Kriya Yoga, we see there is no desire of siddhis in the practitioner's heart. What is the difference? What is the point that separates Yoga Ruksha and Nikrishta Koti Sadhak? The desire for siddhis. So we see that the yoga anga anusthana will now bring first removal of ashuddhi. And what is this ashuddhi? Panchaklesha. So, in order to develop viveka khyati, first these panchakleshas will have to be removed. Therefore, this practice of yoga anga is going to remove the impurities so that the practitioner feels like taking up the practice, sadhana, shravana of yoga sutras, and in consistency. How to know that there is ashuddhi still there present? Lack of consistency. Unable to stick to one decision. Lack of consistency. So to bring consistency into the practice and remove what? The kleshas, yoga anga have been discussed. So because of these, ashuddhikshaya, jnana dipti, viveka khyati develops in nikrishta koti sadhana. First time, some discrimination develops. It's already not there. Somehow, accidentally, this nikrishta koti sadhak has been introduced to yoga. It has caught some temporary interest. Okay, now see the situation. Accidentally being introduced to yoga caught some temporary interest. In temporary interest also, it is either artha or kama. Either there is a desire to make the body very appealing, or there is desire to attain artha or use it as a profession. Whatever is the reason. What do we see here? Accidentally introduced to yoga with these two intentions. One is kama prapti, that is kama through kaya, to have a attachment with the body. So have excellent quality health, disease-free state, but not for dhyana. The goal is not dhyana or meditation. That is the difference. How do we understand? Healthy body, but no focus on healthy mind. Healthy body, not for meditation. And apart from that, the practice of yoga for artharjan. Therefore, we had a sect known as Ajivikas. I'm not certain if you have heard of this popular philosophy, Ajivika philosophy. It's nowhere talked about. Very old philosophy, who said that practice of spirituality is for earning livelihood. They were removed off completely. So the entire sect, what did they do? Rituals or practice of spiritualities purely used them as an instrument of earning livelihood. Ajivikas. The philosophy is known as Ajivika in India only, long before around Buddhism time. But immediately it shook the consciousness of the society. So the Ajivikas were immediately removed. That means there was a standstill. But there were people with this philosophy that, oh, more than anything, spirituality is the greatest source of livelihood for me. And it so happened that once a person who had been given a imprisonment sentence came out of the imprisonment and simply sat under a tree. He was so shocked by what had happened that he didn't eat for a few days. So other people who observed this man sitting with a long beard and long hair and not eating, they thought him to be some yogi or jnani and started putting food and wealth in front of him. So he said, interesting, this is the easiest way to make my life and career. And from there we see the origin of Ajivika philosophy. It was very strong philosophy at one time in India, but removed. You can know more about it if you want to in the future. But why are we citing this here? Because this thought is there in the beginning. So to remove that thought, Panchaklesha, what are the Panchakleshas?
Avidya, Smita, Raga, Dvesha.
Ragadvesh, Abhinivesh. So slowly to reduce, tanukaran karna. उसको कम करना, पंचक्लेश को कम करना, to remove the panchakleshas. The practice of 8 limbs of yoga is introduced. And let's see what it says further. यथा यथा च क्षीयते तथा तथा क्षयक्रमानुरोधी जानस्यपि दीप्तिर्विवर्धते सा खल्वेषा विविध प्रकर्षण अनुभवति आविवेक ख्यातेः आगुण पुरुष स्वरूप विज्ञान द्वितीयर्थः योगांग अनुष्ठानम अशुद्ध वियोग कारणम यथा परशुच्छस्य विवेक ख्यातेस्तु प्राप्ति कारणम यथा धर्मः सुखस्य नान्यथा कारणम. So along with this, what happens? साकल्वेशा विविधः प्रकर्षणम अनुभवति स विवेक ख्याते udbhavati. So as these gunas, the influence of gunas, we see panchakleshas, the seeds in our chitta, vasanas from previous births, have the momentum of rajas. And the moment there is rajas acting, all of them are amplified in the. So these slowly will start now reducing, and the mind will become more and more purified and sattvic. Now we see an overall behavioral change in the seeker. Because of that, one will move from knowing the gunas to purusha. For the first time, listening to something as consciousness. For the first time, what is this consciousness? Never heard before. What is it? That listening happens and the jigyasa to know further about it develops. So what is this reality? What is this consciousness? So slowly, the mind starts removing the mala, and from jadatva, where is the seeker moving? Towards subtle understanding or sukshma astitva. Understands, is, for example, when I also teach in the 200 hours, I say that if you have the greatest of electrical equipment, it's very much in front of you. Unless there is electricity, will it work? No. So if you can take the electricity as energy, you are not able to see the electricity. Absolutely not. Yet it has the capacity to ensure that the object is in motion. Will there not be a greater energy that moves the entire cosmos? What led us to the understanding that electricity is energy? That much we believe. We take it to be true. So what moves this body and what moves this cosmos? So from this smaller understanding, slowly contemplation begins on what is moving me, what is motivating me. Is the external factor the reason for my motivation, or my latent vasanas are the reason for my motivation? Why am I propelled to take up a certain path? Why do I want to do certain things in life, even when there is no environment? For example, nobody in the family is spiritual. You sign up for a 200-hour course and there is no looking back. From where did these samskaras arise, even when there was nothing observed by the parents? Similarly, when you go to a fire ceremony, you see the smoke there. From that, you know that there is a havan, there is a ritual which has been conducted. So present impact of my life is used to gather intelligence from where I am coming. Only when I know from where I am coming, because I know the destination, where I have reached, I know this, I know the current situation in my life. Now I start thinking, from where am I coming? And how did I end up there? So, in the Nikrishta Sadha, now there starts happening purification of mind, and the second reality, that is Purusha, slowly starts. Don't know what it is, but stays. It doesn't leave. What is the sign? it stays. What is this? I want to understand more. What is this? I want to experience it. It keeps on staying. Take a moment to absorb this. Then we progress. So, just like the mirror, when it is cleaned, it shows a direct and proper reflection of the chitta. Similarly, for the Nikrishta Koti sadhak, there starts becoming purification of the heart and thoughts naturally. So, as the yoganga anusthana becomes stronger, it reduces the kleshas until the gunas are realized that, oh, I am a result of working of 3 gunas. So maybe first part of my life, tamas was dominant. Second part of my life, rajas was dominant. Presently, sattva is dominant. Understanding which guna is dominant in me, every action I do, not momentary, not seeing it on the surface, but tracing it back, allowing it to tell me more about myself. This tendency develops. Therefore, गुणों से विरक्ति होकर पुरुष पर संकल्प होता है. Further, okay, from the surface actions, I have realized the 3 gunas. Now, what fuels the 3 gunas? Then I reach the ahamkara. From what fuels the ahamkara individual intelligence? I reach the Mahat cosmic intelligence. What fuels the cosmic intelligence? The buddhi. I move towards Purusha. So, slow longing and steadiness is felt. Consistency or steadiness is extremely important. It decides whether we are Nikrishta Koti sadhak or at least Yoga Ruksha. So from Kshipta and Mudha, how will you know that you have moved to Vikshipta? Consistency. Regularity of sadhana, regularity of Shravana. Knowing that everything else can wait, but this will not wait. So this Nitya, daily patha, sometimes you may not able to be in front of the Guru, but Nitya sadhana, when you are at home, immediately the patha completes. You study, you make notes, you contemplate on it, you send it to the Guru, you send it to your Acharya. This has been done by me. This is how it has helped me. So this internal commitment, when it starts coming, we say now the Shipta is moving towards Vikshipta. So Viveka Khyati slowly develops. From outward, the mind becomes inward now. Problem is not outside, problem is inside. This is realized by the Siddha. So Yoga Anga Anushtan will develop Viyoga. We had discussed Sayoga. You remember? Sayoga and Viyoga. So for Nikrishta Koti Sadhak, Yoga Anga Anushtan. Anushtan, practice, sankalpa of following it through every day, will develop a Viyoga. Viyoga with what? Ashuddhi, Panchakleshas. Allow it to observe. Absorb in the mind. Observe the words. Kati chaitani कारणातानि शास्त्रे भवन्ति नैवत्ययाः तद्यथा उत्पत्ति स्थिताभिव्यक्ति विकार प्रत्यय प्रायः वियोगान्तस्य तत्व द्यूतयः कारणं नवधा स्मृतम् इति तत्र उत्पत्ति कारणं मनो भवति विज्ञानस्य. So we see the Viveka Khyati and Viveka Khyati is helping us with Viyoga Karana and Prapti Karana. So make a note here, 9 types of Karana. 9 types of Karana. Karana, instrument and cause, both. 9 types of Karana are discussed in scriptures. Cause and effect, We see entire Bharatiya philosophical system, Indian knowledge systems is developed on cause and effect. So what is the effect right now? The moment I see this, philosophy goes to see what is the cause of this. Entire philosophical system talks about cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. If you're realizing the effect, go see what is its cause. If you know the cause, see what will be its effect. So if the effect is taken as life, the contemplation on cause of life is Bharatiya Darshan. If suffering is seen, the cause of suffering is Bharatiya Darshan. Whatever is seen, tracing back to its cause, we see different darshanas or philosophical systems. So, 9 types of karana. Out of the 9, yoga darshana, viveka khyati, gives 2, viyoga karana and prapti karana. The 8 limbs, the ashta anga anushtan will give viyoga karana. We discussed what is viyoga, and prapti karana. Viyoga from panchaklesha. Prapti of what? Purushakar vritti. So 9 types of karana. First, write utpatti karana. Utpatti karana. Utpatti karana. UTPATTI. Utpatti karana. KARAN. जैसे विज्ञान के उत्पत्ति के लिए मन कारण है ना? For realization also, what is the reason? The chitta is the cause. So utpatti, that is birth or emergence. Every emergence has its source. So what is the source? The chitta. And for what else? It is sarvarthakari and sarvartha anarthaka. So you can write it sarva anarthakari, sarvarthakari. This mind is sarvarthakari, which gives rise to purushakar vritti, and sarva anarthakari. This chitta also brings a lot of impurities. Cause of both. Cause of dharma, artha, kama, also cause of moksha, or source of emergence of moksha. See carefully. Sarvarthakari and sarva anarthakari. Anartha, something not good. Sarvarthakari, sarva anarthakari, both functions of this. So utpatti karana, we need not understand them in detail, just write. Sthiti karana. Sthiti karana, second. Third, sthiti, STITHI, sthiti karana, KARAN. Third, abhivyakti karana, ABHI, VYAKTI, abhivyakti karana. Then vikara karana, VIKAR, vikara karana. You can translate it VIKA, vikara karana. Pratyaya karana, PRATYA, fifth. Pratyaya karana, PRATYA, pratyaya karana. Sixth, prapti karana, PRAPTI, prapti karana. Prapti karana. Then seventh, viyoga karana, VIYOG, viyoga karana. वियोग कारण, अन्यत्व कारण, 8th right, अन्यत्व कारण, ANYATV, अन्यत्व कारण. 8th and finally dhriti कारण, DHRITI, dhriti. Now see, I shall be reading from the main text and my Hindi understanding. I'll just see. Ji, Rena ji, you have a question?
These are the 9 types of karana, that are the causes. Causes of what did you say?
Sources. Karana, instrument also and sources also. Just write them. For us, we are only taking 2, Prapti and Viyoga Karana. So, Ashta Anga of Yoga are Prapti Karana and Viyoga Karana. Viyoga Karana for Kleshas, separation from the Kleshas. And Prapti Karana for Purushakar Vritti. Viyoga Karana and Prapti Karana. The reasons for this. Let's understand others also quickly. I will see from the main text in Hindi and then I shall translate for us. मन विज्ञान का उत्पत्ति कारण है. The chitta will give rise to cosmic intelligence. मन का स्थिति कारण पुरुषार्थता है. Mana, what will be the reason? Sthiti karana for it? Purushartha. We saw 2 kinds. Sarva, Anartha. Also. So both of these, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha, both will be present in the Chitta itself. Tatha शरीर का स्थिति कारण आहार है. Similar स्थिति कारण, to stabilize it, to keep it maintained, to fuel it. So Dharma, Artha, Kama will fuel the mind. Similarly, like the food will fuel the body. स्थिति कारण. रूप का अभिव्यक्ति कारण आलोक है और रूप ज्ञान रूप काय अभिव्यक्ति कारण है. रूप अभिव्यक्ति कारण आलोक है. Next is रूप. What is रूप? Form. What is the abhivyakti karana? Third, we discussed abhivyakti karana. Have you written? Abhivyakti karana? It's not the roop or form that you're seeing. It's the light that you're missing that brings this form and shapes. Understand this. It's not the roop. It's not the form that you're seeing. We feel we are seeing the form. We fail to realize it's the light we are missing that makes these forms visible to us. रूप का अभिव्यक्ति कारण आलोक है. देन मन का विकार कारण विषयांतर है. मन का विकार कारण, विकार, just like the tandula, rice, the cooked rice, vikara, due to heat. Due to heat, what happens? Rice gets cooked. Similarly, for the mana, what do we see for the mana? Vishayantar, change of topics. Man ka vikara. Carefully understand this. If you may absorb, it's a very important teaching. Man ka vikar karan vishayantar hai. Man ka vikar. Man is the, you can take it as chitta, state of mind for now. Vikara, deformity. Vishayantar, change of topics. Therefore, meditate. Ekagrata, ekagra, one-pointed state of mind. See, from here there is a need for meditation that rises. Why? Man ke vikar ka karan. Anything related to the Mana. All the diseases related to the mind and emotions stem from Vishayantar, change of topics of the mind. This is very, very important. Just make a note of this. धूमज्ञान अग्निज्ञान का प्रत्यय कारण है. Inference. Next is inference. Dhumajnana. Seeing the smoke, we know the cause is the fire, visible. We have taken this, cited this example many times. योगांग अनुष्ठान विवेक ख्याति का प्राप्ति कारण है और वही अशुद्धि का वियोग कारण है. All of these explain to you why to reach to next two. योगांग अनुष्ठान किस चीज का वियोग करवा रहा है? What is the वियोग? Separation of the pancha kleshas. So if you want, you can write योगांग अनुष्ठान विवेक ख्याति का प्राप्ति कारण है. What happens with the practice of 8 limbs? Vivek Khyati starts developing. I hope we are able to follow. This may seem very heavy, but it is right diving deep into the depth of the philosophy, the reason for Ashtanga. Why the 8 limbs of yoga exist in the first place. So immediately, if somebody asks you, what will the practice, daily practice of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi is out of our ambit right now. If I practice all of these every day, what will I be benefited with? Immediately answer is Viveka Khyati. And without Viveka Khyati, moksha is not. Just without any question, curiosity in the mind, just listen. Without Viveka Khyati, moksha is not possible. And without yoga ashtanga anushtan, for nikrishta koti sadhak, Viveka Khyati is not possible. तथा योगांगानुष्ठान विवेक ख्याति का प्राप्ति कारण है और वही अशुद्धि का वियोग कारण है. Removal of impurities, cleaning of the chitta, same time happening with the knowledge. As the chitta starts being purified, knowledge starts being absorbed. Knowledge starts being absorbed. What knowledge? Moksha jnana, shastra jnana. जैसे सोना सोने का अन्यत्व कारण है, उसी प्रकार एक ही स्त्री ज्ञान के मूढ़त्व, दुखत्व, सुखत्व तथा मध्यस्थ रूप अंतव्यत कारण यथाक्रम अविद्या, द्वेष, राग, द्वेष तथा तत्वज्ञान. Similarly, like the goldsmith is going to develop anyatva, different ornaments from the gold. Who is the reason? Who imagined it? The goldsmith. Gold is one. Similarly, for a lady, depending on what we have within her, we imagine all of those in her. Mudhatva, buddhitva, whatever are the latent vasanas in us, they are being projected on the object. Therefore, the example is in Yoga Sutras. If the mind holds on to your beloved one, okay, the woman who is very crucial to your life, in that moment, pratyahara is practiced naturally by you. Now, her presence itself is enough for you to give you raga and dvesha. She is not doing anything. I will repeat again. The raga, dvesha, abhinivesha, avidya is within you. same, a man or a woman, both. Her presence brings up those vrittis. And why are we discussing this? The Anyatva Karan, 8th that we discuss. Anyatva. Projected, like the goldsmith is what? Projecting different designs out of his imagination. Similarly, this imagination, without actual involvement of the object itself, is happening. Anyatva Karan. So for that to take rise, your vrittis are responsible. Anyatva. In reality, the object is as it is. It's the imagination that builds everything around the object. Even bandhana, moksha, अन्यत्व कारण. मैं बद्ध हूं, मैं मुक्त हूं. From where is this coming? From my own journey. मैं दुखी हूं. किसने निश्चय किया आप दुखी है? आप क्या सच में दुखी है? और क्या आपके दुख का कारण साधन है या आप स्वयं है? If you are sorrowful, is it dependent on the object or it is the smriti of the past latent samskaras that is giving rise to dukkha again and again? So every time you take birth, if the smriti is present, pramana viparyaya vikalpa nidra smriti, in every birth it is going to come up. It has nothing to do with the object. As long as you samulnash, as long as you remove it. And we saw in Jnana Bhumi, the Buddhi stops giving sorrow. Very, very deep. If you are able to catch the essence of it, it is as sweet as sugarcane juice for me, even as I explain it to you. So if you really catch even 1% of it, you are going to enjoy studying the Ashtanga Yoga further. Okay, so last one after that. शरीर इंद्रियों का और इंद्रिय शरीर का धृति कारण है. जैसे महाभूत समष्टि शरीरों का और वे महाभूत आपस में एक दूसरे का धृति कारण है. पशु मनुष्य एवं देवता भी परस्पर एक दूसरे के अर्थ होने से धृति कारण है. इंटरडिपेंडेंसी धृति कारण. 5 elements body. Body makes up the 5 elements. 5 elements make up the body. Dhruti Karan. Interdependence. So these 9 Karanas are described in different scriptures. But for us, what does Yoga Sutra describe? The Ashtanga Yoga. Anusthana. Yoga Anga Anusthana gives 2 of these Karana. And which are these 2 Karana? Viyoga and Prapti. So out of the 9, 2 are received by Nikrishta Koti Sadhak. That is all this verse says. Prapti Karanam Yoganga Anushtanam Viveka Khyate वियोग कारणम तदेव शुद्धे अन्यत्व कारणम यथा सवर्णस्य सुवर्णकारः एवं एकस्य स्त्री प्रत्ययस्य अविद्या मूढ़त्वे द्वेषो दुःखत्वे रागः सूक्ष्मत्वे तत्वज्ञानं मध्यमस्थेय धृति कारणं च शरीरम इंद्रियाणां तानि च तस्य महाभूतानि शरीराणां तानि च परस्परं सर्वेषां तैर्य गैरे मनुष्य देवतानि च परस्पर अर्धत्वात् इत्येव नवकारणानि. These are the 9 karanas says these very verse. Verse 28. discusses the Anushtana, Yoganga Anushtana, and what is it exactly going to do. Tani cha yatha sambhava padartha antareshtyapi yojayanti yoga anga anushtanantu dvideva karanatvam labhata iti. Yoganga anusthana dvivida karana labhate. The practice of yoga anga gives dvivida, two karanas, labha, gift, prapti. Viyoga, prapti. With this, we conclude the sutra. From here, now the 8 limbs shall be introduced and discussed, which we shall see on 20th. The next session will be on 19th or 20th. I shall write to you. 19, 20 or 21. As I feel, I shall write to you. Any questions? Now have we understood Yoga Rudha, Yoga Ruksha and Nikrishta Sadhana? One who still has desires, one who still has longing, somehow has come on the path of yoga. Come, come, come. We invite, we give a toffee, we say, come, okay, okay. You eat the toffee. Later on, you will not need the toffee to be happy in your practice. So you want to fly in the air, you want all in the future sutras in Vibhuti Pada, we will see Anima, Lagima, Garima, Prapti, different yogic powers. You want powers, okay. Come, whatever is the reason, come to yoga. Come inside. Do Shravana. Listen with the teacher. Naturally, you will have the Viyoga. So, every sadhak, whatever is the reason, once introduced to the practice of yoga, must be welcomed more. Most appreciated for the teacher is whom? The one who is just beginning. So the Guru or Acharya is extremely happy. One who has no idea. Why? Because the practical knowledge is tested. How all of this, what we have studied, how this seeker is going to go through this stage. Therefore, the greatest of Gurus, more compassionate towards the new students and very, very harsh towards the one who are Yoga Rudha and Ruksha. Extremely harsh. Not a word spoken. Not easily available. But one who is Nikrishta Koti Sadha, lot of love and compassion. This is the great ways of our Guru. If you have any questions, you will ask Ji. Ji.
What is can you explain what is Nikrishta Koti Sadhak literally means?
Nikrishta, one who still has desires, and importantly, Mudha and Kshipta Chitta. So Tamas is very much dominant still. Rajas, inconsistency in sadhana. Antaray is not anything else but commitment. And what did we see? Mind fluctuating from one object to another. Vikriti, at the level. That's why sorrow is there, delusion is there. Our mind is made to meditate. Please understand, meditation is possible only when we stick to one object. Natural state of mind is meditation. You don't have to do anything else. Just train it with pratyahara and dharana. It will naturally take you to dhyana and samadhi. That is Nikrishta Koti sadhana. One with some desires, like I said, artha and kama. One who wants a very good physical posture, physical body. Okay, we say, okay, come, no problem. You also come be a part of the practice. But carefully, without understanding, we pick them and take them towards Vivekakhyata. So my prayojan, why you are studying the Patanjali Yoga Darshan, so that when you teach the asanas, you pick one carefully, bring them to you and take them towards Vivekakhyata. You don't simply conduct the class and leave. No. At least one sutra. begin the session with one sutra. Allow them to have more insight on what the practice of yoga is. Yes, any other question? Lisa ji, there are many terms used here. Please write to me specifically for any terms in Sanskritam which I have used and you may want a transliteration for it. Or whatever you have made a note, just share a picture. I will correct it and send it back.
Thank you, G. I'm going through more times to the last classes because we're really full of things. And so as you are going to your Vipassana, I will take time for go through everything and then text you. Thank you.
If you go through the entire second adhyaya also, second chapter, when I come back, then when we begin the Ashtanga Yoga, because everything is simple after this. Today was the last sutra. See, Adhikaritva, because we are developing our Adhikaritva, you already have the Adhikaritva for Ashtanga. So naturally, going forward from this, we are going to pick up speed and you will also understand everything. But even to make you share with you what you already know little bit, I had to take you through this process. So if possible for you, go through all the recordings of the second adhyaya, second pada, sadhana pada.
Ma'am, one question.
Ji.
It's regarding Sanskrit grammar. That gya, we see it as a gya or ja, pragya or pragya, because in school and in Hindi, in Gujarati or in Sanskrit, when I study, it was gya, and now everywhere I hear ja. So I just wanted to clarify that confusion.
Yes. So Sanskritam, ja is the pronunciation, nasal. So it should bring a vibration in your nasal cavity. Ja. But Hindi, Marathi, all of them use it as gya. Even in North India, they use ja, jajnena, jajyamayanta devaha. So ja is used. They cannot pronounce gya or ja. They use directly ja. So this is not able to pronounce. But if you understand, correct pronunciation is ja nasal. Why?
Got it.
Understand the reason. Ja is related to knowledge. Ja pronunciation has Brahmari pranayam, which directly acts on your Agya chakra. Whenever you pronounce ja, the nasal cavity, where does it connect? Shortest route to your third eye, your breath. So moment you say ja, there is vibration which reaches here and activates your third eye. This is the beauty of the language. Sanskrit.
Got it.
If no more questions, we shall conclude for today with Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ganesha Om Shri Saraswati Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari. We meet again for the part in the next session. Namaste.